New day, new calf. Yeah, I think number 3's calving right now. Obviously getting ready to calve. Tail's been up all day, and we've got a pretty good strand of mucus. Not to mention her bag is huge. So we're gonna try and get her up to the barn just because of the weather. Well, I got her up in the mud lot, but as you can see, she does not want to come into the barn. I'm gonna have to make a decision. I kind of chased her around a little bit trying to get her in here. I set up this, obviously I'm using it for storage on other things, but in a pinch, it's another basically calving pen just because the other stalls we have are either full with number 2 or I'm using them for storage on other stuff. So I really wanted to get her in here, obviously out of the wind, out of the rain. I've been kind of trying to herd her all morning, and she has had very little interest in separating herself from the herd. So if she wants to calve out on pasture, I guess I'm just gonna have to let her. She's getting close. I mean, she's looking for a place to lay down. That tail's been up. I don't want to keep chasing her around and stressing her out. I think probably what I'll do is just kick her back loose into that front pasture and let the rest of the herd kind of hang out near her, and we'll go from there. Well, missed it again by like 10 minutes. Couldn't get her in the barn. Thought I would just step inside the house, give them a minute to kind of do what they want to do. See if she wanted to come in on her own, and all of a sudden there she is. Obviously not ideal that we're in this mud lot. I really didn't want her to calve in here. See, we're gonna have to try and keep him clean and dry. Mom's doing a really good job of that, but I think the sooner we can get him in the barn, the better, especially because the wind is going. So that head button, she did that with her last calf, her first calf last year. She was very bully. She butted the thing around. I was kind of hoping it was just because first calf heifer, she didn't really know what to expect, but she seems to be kind of doing it with this one. So again, pretty undesirable spot to have that calf. You know, in hindsight, I probably just should have left it in that nice green pasture up by the barn, instead of trying to get her actually into the barn. But as you can hear, the wind and the rain is starting to come down pretty good. So she's doing a really good job of cleaning it off. I'm gonna give it some time, obviously let them bond. Hopefully get that calf to start nursing right away. And then I'd really like to get the navel sprayed just because it's been laying in that mud. Get the navel sprayed, get the ear tagged, and then probably just try and get it in the barn for the rest of the day. Very quick. Her first calf last year was extremely quick. Just wanted to step away, give mom some privacy, and then I got a call 10 minutes later, less than 10 minutes later, that there was a new calf on the ground. Yeah, and as far as that bullying behavior, like I said, she did that last year with her first calf. It seems like once it starts nursing, she doesn't have any problem. I mean, last year she didn't. She's letting it get closer and closer to nursing right now. So hopefully she stops pushing it around. She's a great mother otherwise, so I don't really think I'm gonna use that as culling criteria. Obviously, as long as she allows that calf to start nursing within a timely manner. Ugh, got cow goo all over me. It's feeling a lot like Sunny Farms in here. Multiple calves, multiple days, crazy weather. Got way too much stuff in this barn. I don't know if this is gonna work. I have yet to ever drop these sides, and they are tight. So while I was sitting here for the last 2 hours waiting for her to nurse, I was reading some good articles. The Canadian Beef Research Council, whoever they are, put out a really good paper about why a heifer or a cow might be kind of headbutting its calf like that. And a lot of it has to do with just a lack of hormone, the oxytocin hormone, or a chemical imbalance. But what happens during a normal birth is that oxytocin floods the brain, and that kind of kickstarts that motherly instinct. So what they were saying in this paper that they thought was happening was that some cows just don't have the chemical makeup to flood their brain full of all the oxytocin they need before the entire birthing process is over. So while a lot of cows will get that oxytocin when they when they do milk letdown, when they actually birth the calf, when they lick the calf off, some need a little bit longer. One of the things that pointed out, which might make sense with her, is, again, she did it last year, but expulsion of the placenta, right? Expulsion of the rest of the birthing stuff. And she still has a pretty long string with half of her water bag still full hanging out of her. So I don't know if she were to get rid of the rest of her internals, the normal reproductive stuff that she would shed post-calving. If that would then release the rest of the oxytocin from her brain to get her to nurse. But I'm out of time to figure it out. I mean, like I said, it's been over 2 hours. We need to get her a drink of colostrum, otherwise I'm gonna have to start bottle feeding her. The other thing it said is that abnormal births, stressful births, C-sections, stuff like that, the normal birthing process is not there to release all of those oxytocin hormones. And so they just don't get the full, hey, I'm a mom. So she's obviously licking her calf. She's like halfway there. There's just a little bit left that she just can't let it come around to the side of her or behind her to try and nurse. So we're gonna hopefully fix that right now. And I've used this thing like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times since I've had it. So, and I've only caught 1 animal in it and it was a mess. So if I don't catch her on the first time, it's gonna be really tough to get her back in there. Okay, so this is an auto catch head gate, which is going to be great right now because it's just me. So set the auto catch, so when they come through, their shoulders catch. She's going to lock herself up. Part of the problem is I don't know if she's actually going to go into it just because we don't have the best funnel to get her in there, but there's also not a lot of daylight at the end. I'm going to pop open that barn door. Hopefully that will help her think that she can actually run through this. But we're kind of butting up against the stall wall, so she might look at that as a dead-end alley, and she's not going to run through it. We'll see. But yeah, if she gets out and doesn't get in and doesn't get caught, this is going to be a nightmare. The other thing is this is still sitting on furniture dollies, so there's gonna be some rocking back and forth. Those things are pretty stout. I'm hoping that this works. Famous last words though, right? I don't know. What do you think, Mama? We're gonna do this? One take? Tarter. Probably should have done this like an hour ago. Right here. Hey, right here. You're fine, Mama. You're doing good. You're fine, Mama. There's definitely a technique to letting that calf find that teat. You can see she's looking in the wrong place. Follow my finger. Oh, you got little sharp teeth. Look at that. How about that? Do we think that that's related at all? Calf nursing and everything that's been hanging on for hours finally dropping. Let's make them both happy, huh? Yeah, good one. I just find it too much of a coincidence that we couldn't get the rest of that afterbirth to drop, and she was not. She was not a big fan of her calf and letting her nurse. And then as soon as we started nursing, that came out. Obviously, it could have been stress, getting her locked up. She could have just, like they go to the bathroom. They drop manure whenever they're stressed. I'm sure that could have had a lot to do with it too, but probably just because I just read that Canadian research paper on the rest of the afterbirth actually being responsible for a lot of the oxytocin. I'm just gonna call it that. Makes myself feel smarter. Hey, Mama. Well, doesn't seem like it did anything yet. All right. Got done with that just in time for evening feeding for the rest of the herd. Listen, as much fun as that was, not something I want to do every year. So because this is her second year of doing that, I really need to think hard about culling. Unfortunately, it's bad timing because we were just talking about calf last year. She is really growing up to be a good looking heifer. She looks really good. So we were talking, again, depending on what we have this year, bull calves or heifer calves, in order to grow the operation, we were going to retain some heifers just to have more breeding stock. But after doing that, I really don't know if keeping her will be the smart move. There is a chance that that little genetic mishap that her mom has did not get passed on to her. So there's a chance that she will actually grow up to be a great cow. Part of me thinks some of it might be just due to the surroundings right now. The weather, the temperature, the fact that I kind of chased her around a little bit, stressed her out, and then had her locked up in a new area in that barn that she has never spent any time in. So again, the idea is to be as hands-off as possible and to let these cows manage their calves on their own. And if she's gonna do this every year, or the offspring, which that was another heifer calf she just threw today, you know, I don't really want to be keeping those genetics in my herd. What do you think, Big Mama? You're next. You're next. We're looking at about less than 40 days for her. So we will definitely be grazing when she gets ready to calve, and we might not even be on the home ranch. We'll have to see. But, you know, she's a very mature cow. This will be her 4th calf. I'm not too concerned about her. Well, looks like we're all figured out. Thank goodness, because I really did not want to get her into that chute again. Glad it worked out. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, comments, sarcastic remarks, like always, send them my way.